Hey y'all. All right, let's talk about this ham. This is one of those things I get so many questions about. And I know I've done it a couple of times, but not everybody sees every video. So if you have already seen it, then, just remember that not everybody has seen it. And I have a lot of new followers also since I have made a ham. So this is a smoked picnic ham. They are hard to find. I get it. A lot of people say that they can't find them. They are hard to find. You can, if you have like a little small grocery store in your area, or like maybe a Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, like places like that are more likely to have these than some of the bigger chain restaurants like Publix and places like that. I'm not sure that they have them. Kroger, I think they may have them occasionally, but it's just kind of hit or miss. I think they're kind of hard to get now. Anyway, it is a smoked picnic ham, and we call it pulled ham because we don't slice it, we pull it apart, and I cook it until it completely pulls off of the bone. I cook it in my crock pot, and most of the time, now whether you're cooking yours on low or you're cooking it on high, you're not even going to want to take that lid. If you want it to be like pull apart the way I do mine, like pull away from the bone, you're not even going to want to take that lid off and check it for at least 5 hours, okay? If you want to check it at that point, you can, but like I said, I cook mine 7-8 hours. I've had some people tell me I cooked mine for that long. It was dry, it was tough, it was this, it was that. I don't know if it was a different type of ham. Maybe your crock pot just cooks a lot faster, or a lot higher temperature than mine. I don't know, but I've never ever had that happen. And other people that have cooked them have never said that. It's just been just a few that I've had say that. So it's hard to tell you an exact time, but the thing is, if you want that pull apart, when you stick your fork in there next to that bone, it should just pull completely away from that bone, and you should be able to just pick that bone up and pull it straight out. That's whenever I say, okay, it's ready. Now we've got our pulled ham. I don't even like for it to be where you have to kind of pull at it a little bit. I like for it to gently, very gently pull away, okay? Now, if you'll notice, mine, it has kind of set up like with that grease and stuff. If you'll notice, like the white color or whatnot, that's just because I cooked this, yesterday. So it's going to be like a jelly type form. You see here how this looks. And that's just because I put it in the fridge overnight, because I was too tired last night to fool with it. And so now I'm going to pull it apart and just kind of, like I said, go over it a little bit with you about how I cook it, which like I just said, and my gloves are 2 different colors, y'all. I had bought me another box that fit, and then now I have about ran out of those, and so I'm digging around to find gloves that fit. But what I do, I will just put it on and I will cook it. And on the picnic hams like this, you will see this right here is what I call the fat side. This is just all like a real thick layer of fat right here, and it's going to be about that thick, okay? And the other side is like real meaty. So I always put the meat side down, okay? And then I put in my exact amount of water that I put in this ham right here was 3 cups. Sometimes you may need to do a little less. Sometimes you may need to do a little more. But just around that area, I did right at about 3 cups. That was perfect because a lot of liquid is going to cook out of it. As you can see here, you get a lot of fat out of there. And then you put it in there, you put your water in there, you put your lid on it, and then I always, I will lay a piece of foil over it like this right here, and then pop my lid on it, because you know, I think like, you know, heat expands. And so I think over the years, like it has kind of expanded a little bit. And so my lid is kind of loose and I feel like air will still get in there. So I lay a piece of foil over it and then turn it on. And that is it, y'all. I don't add no kind of sugar, brown sugar, no pineapple, no nothing. Just the water. With this, I did 3 cups of water. Okay, and so then I pull it. And like I said, yesterday I just kind of took my fork and went down in here and just pulled us some out. Normally I would pull it all at one time, but I really just didn't have time. But as you can see here, even though, like I said, this is going to be a little bit different because it's cold, but as you can see here, here is one bone. It just, like I said, it just pulls right out. Let me get this pull up here. And there's a little bit of meat on there. I'll get that in a second. But, and there's another bone here that I'll get in a minute. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull some of this aside. And it's not going to look nothing like this if it's still a little bit warm. Okay, this is just simply because I put it in the fridge. But let me take my fork here and I'm going to pull some up. Okay, you see this right here, and then here is your ham. And what I do is I just kind of, I will pull that fat off of it, you know, like this, and just, and then you just pull your ham apart, and then this is your pulled ham. And it is so good. It is juicy. It is full of flavor. It is perfect for sandwiches. Actually, in fact, I'm going to have me a sandwich here in a minute after I get this done. Actually, you know, I posted that picture today of my plate that I had last night. And I said I've not eaten anything since. Well, guess what? I still haven't. I did snack around. I had a little bit of, it was like a snack mix, Chex mix, some sort of stuff. I had a little bit left in the bag, and I finished that off a little bit ago. But aside from that, that is all I have had. I was so full. But back in the day, whenever my boys, of course, were at home, I would make one of these hams, and then the next day, or sometimes even the day after that, I would just heat some of it up, and it is perfect to make hot ham and cheese sandwiches. I mean, so good. And you can add to it whatever you want. If you just want it on a bun, or I do it with just regular bread, which is what I'm gonna have it on tonight. And if you want cheese on it, you can do cheese, mustard, mayo, tomato, just, you know, just like a regular ham sandwich, whatever you like. And it is so good. And then after that, if you still have some left, which I will, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, I like to get like just a little handful of it and put it in the little small freezer bags and pop it in the freezer, and then you can get it out to make you a sandwich. You can get it out to put it in some beans. It's perfect to season beans with, turnip greens, collard greens. It sounded like I said colored greens, but to season up, it's perfect for seasoning things. It's perfect to go like in some potato soup, some fried cabbage. I mean, seriously, it just, you get your money's worth out of it, trust me, because you can just do so many things with it. So yeah, I never toss it out. Like I said, whatever's left goes in the freezer, and it doesn't last long in there. I just, I get it out and just, I mean, you can just get it out and eat it, or like I said, fix you a sandwich with it. It's perfect. It doesn't take it long at all to thaw out. I used to work at a barbecue restaurant way back many years ago, and they had, we sold what you called a hot ham and cheese sandwich, and it was with pulled ham, just like this. And that was how we did it there. You would cook the ham and then pull it, and they would freeze it in the little Ziploc bags like that, and then somebody ordered a hot ham and cheese, you would get it out and pop it in the microwave and heat it up, and it was a delicious hot ham and cheese sandwich, just like that quick, and it was still fresh, it would still be good. So yeah, that's it. Like, there's nothing about it to be nervous about. Like, people, will say, oh, I'm so nervous about making it. Trust me, it's the easiest ham that you could possibly do. And like I said, as far as the cooking time goes, don't just, if it's your first time and you don't know how your crock pot is going to cook and you've never done it before, don't just toss it in there and walk away for 8 hours and think, well, okay, she said 8 hours, so no, check it, a little bit in between just to make sure, because yours may cook a little different than mine, okay? So just like I said, when you can use a fork, I mean, you're not going to be able to put your hands in it like this at that point because it's still going to be so hot, but when it's cooking and you can stick your fork in it and you can pull it away from that bone or pull that bone out, that's whenever you're ready to serve pulled ham, okay? That's why it's called pulled ham, because it's just like how you would do like barbecue or a Boston butt for like pulled pork, except for it's pulled ham, okay? So I'm not going to keep y'all while I pull all of this. I just kind of wanted to show y'all how I do it. And then also what I do is after I get all of this pulled, even though like now this is like I've got that grease pushed over to the side, but like down in here, this is going to be your good juice. I know it looks terrible right now. It looks like Jell-O, but this melts down to just a liquid. Okay, once it gets warm, I'll show it to you. I'll tell you what, that's what I'll do. I won't heat it up, but I'll warm it enough to where it will go back to a liquid form. And what I will do is, once I get all this pulled and put in there, I will pour some of this over that in the bowl. I'm going to put it in this little bowl. That's what I got that out for. That's right. I will pour it over it, and so that way it's sitting in that liquid, and it will stay nice and moist and just so good, okay? So let me finish this up, y'all. And I'm not going to get that real hot, but I will get it enough to where it will go down to a liquid form so y'all can see. And I will come back. Let me see if I can slide this off just a little bit to pause it. And I will, I'll come back and I will show y'all what it all looks like after I have it all pulled apart and have our liquid poured over. All right, y'all, look at our ham here, and I'm gonna tell you, you will have so much. There's a little stringy part. Get that out. You have so much. I mean, I want you to look at all this. This is just packed in here, just good ham. I mean, no fat. I got all the fat off of it. And we ate a ton of it last night, and then, like I said, today I sent a ton of it home with Braden, and I still have this much left. So anyway, like I said, I just warmed this just a little bit. I didn't want to get it hot because I'm going to be putting all this back in the fridge. So what you want to do is just, pour that over your ham so that it will be sitting in that nice liquid, and it will stay so moist. And so whenever you get you some out, just make sure you kind of, scoop down in there and get some of that liquid out. And see how I'm just kind of getting it all coated in there really, really good. And that's that, y'all. This one, I mean, it's just the easiest ham you can make. It is so delicious. There's so many different options that you can do with it. And it's just so good. It's just so good. I'm still just picking some little stuff off here. But yeah, that's that. Like I said, I get so many questions about it, and people say that they're nervous. Look, don't be nervous. This is just, you just about can't mess it up. And I know, and like I said, a lot of people tell me that they have a hard time finding them. A lot of times you can ask your, if you have like a little local grocery store, you could maybe ask the owner or the butcher or somebody there, and they can possibly order you one. I know that they're, you know, sometimes little small mom and pop places especially are pretty good about that. So yeah, that might be an option to do also. And let me show you this. I showed y'all that one little bone that I got out, but now here is the main big bone. And you know, people use this like to season with, like their beans or whatever. So here's this, and then there's always these little pieces that are like attached onto it, and I always put those in with the bone. Like these are little pieces of meat, but they're like a tougher part of the ham, and so instead of putting that in here, I always put that with the bone to put in and season stuff with. Okay, so anyway, y'all, that is that. I am fixing to get me out just a little bit of this, and I'm gonna heat it up, and I'm gonna make me a sandwich. As y'all can see, let me get this glove off so I can maneuver around here. I got me some good fresh garden tomatoes today, and I'm going to make me a delicious sandwich. I'll make a hop back on here with y'all and fix a good sandwich. I was going to just do a tomato and just a tomato sandwich, you know, like since it was my first little batch of tomatoes, but since I have this ham, I think I'm going to do just a ham, cheese, and tomato sandwich. And I went to Walmart today just so I could get my favorite bread. Anyway, I'll do another quick little video and show y'all that. I got to get all this grease cleaned up. This is a messy job, but hey, it is worth it. And I mean, this ham, you can even eat it just like this. It's good, just cold. I prefer it warmed up, but anyway, this is a big bowl of ham. So y'all get ready. We're going to be having recipes that y'all are going to hear me. I'm cooking some more of that ham today, y'all. Anyway, if y'all can find you one, get you one, I promise you'll love it. And everybody else will too. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.